G'day and welcome to another Pokemon Go video, and jumping straight into Go Battle League. As you can see, rank 8 currently, and we're in the Ultra League, so going to jump into Premier League just to avoid some Legendaries and Mythicals, and running Gallade, Swampert and Gengar. So Gallade running Confusion, Leaf Blade and Close Combat, Swampert running Mudshot, Hydro Cannon, Earthquake, and Gengar running Shadow Claw, Shadow Ball and Shadow Punch. So a little bit of a different team, and swapping it up marginally. So the big thing to remember here is not to get your Gengar switch locked in against Snorlax. So lots of people seem to be running Snorlax in the Premier Cup, so want to avoid getting that Gengar paired up with it. The other option is to run Focus Blast on your Gengar, absolute beast of a move. So up first we've got Lapras. So Lapras takes the same amount of time to get to a charge move as Gallade, but what I like to do is try and get one extra Confusion in to start getting some damage. So in this instance they swapped out, and I didn't really, it took me far too long to swap into Gengar, so you've got to be watching those swaps. So into Gengar, being a Shadow, they're probably going to shield everything, so no point using the Shadow Ball, so just go the Shadow Punch there, so much more energy efficient, well, cheaper basically to throw that move, and they're going to shield that up anyway. So come out with the Gallade to farm down, was able to farm down, puts me very, very close to fainting. Out comes the Lapras, so want to burn this last shield, so throw the Leaf Blade, and then got another charge move, so throw the Close Combat, almost takes it out, and they take me out. So out comes a Swampert, and it's down to what is in the back to see who wins. Unfortunately, they have a Venusaur, which is a horrible option for me. They get to their charge move, and I am expecting this to go. The game decides to lag a lot, and does no damage. They then freeze, and I'm able to get to another Hydro Cannon. So I don't know what's happening there, so I assume there's some sort of lag, and able to take that match. So 100% that was not my match, that was theirs every day of the week, and it's just because there was lag that I don't know what happened there. So unfortunate, but happens to you as much as it happens against you, so it is what it is. So out comes Gallade, Lucario on the lead, so good matchup. Need to be very careful of Lucario throwing the Shadow Ball. They usually run with Power Punch and Shadow Ball, so big risk here, but decide not to shield that. It is the Power Up Punch, works out really well. So in this instance, I will throw the Leaf Blade just because it is neutral damage due to the water and flying type, so throw that, grab a shield and grab some energy. I will shield up myself and then look to farm down. So it is the Crunch, which is much better than the Aqua Tail. Aqua Tail, obviously, its Community Day move, was able to get to the Shadow Ball and managed to get the last shield from the Charizard, which is absolutely brilliant. They swap into Lucario just as I throw my next Shadow Ball, so really good play on their part. Able to one-shot the Lucario, and then let's see if we can get to the Shadow Punch. Can't get to the Shadow Punch. However, I do have Swampert. I'm up a shield. Even if this is a Blast Burn, I can survive it, so I will let the first one go in case it is a bait. It was Overheat, so that's good game, and they left the game because they understood that as well. So good game there, and able to take that one. So jumping into the third one, again Gallade on the lead, really solid. It's got a few that it doesn't like coming up against. Matchamp is not one of those, so really solid lead match, expecting them to switch out. So this one is a questionable, so probably what I should have done there is throw the charge move and then get out of there. So I'm not expecting them to use Wild Charge. Mirror Shot is doing absolutely no damage, and here I underfarm, but I underfarm far too much, and should not have yeah, so be careful of your farming because they're able to get to another mirror shot. It does let me get to 2 hydro cannons back to back. I decide to throw a earthquake here and then swap into the Gallade to throw the close combat. That gets a shield, and I've got my defense debuffed, so I'm going to let this go down. Come out with the Gengar, and then they switch into their Machamp, and the reason they've done this, so this is a horrible matchup for them, horrible matchup, but they've got such a good matchup against the Swampert v Tangle Growth that they really want to maintain this. So throw energy here to bait out that last shield, manage to get the last shield, so happy days. What you should probably do there is just double Shadow Ball, because if they don't shield that up and you bait, you're sort of in a bit more trouble. So double Shadow Ball there. You've got time to do it. So that was the play instead of the shield bait, because if they don't go for the bait, then you're in a little bit of trouble. So jumping into the next one, and Venusaur on the lead is pretty good. You will need to go into a shield deficit here, but you can charge this down. So they've now switched out into Charizard, which is really good for me because I can come into Swampert. You do not want to shield this. You will, if you shield this, they'll be coming in with the Venusaur to farm you down. So you want to let this one go. So they actually shielded that up, which is a big misplay on their part. There's no point shielding it, and they've double shielded here, so really interesting. In this one, I'll be able to survive the blast burn, so let that through, and then they swap into Venusaur and take all that energy away from me, so that's really not good for me, and that's what you got to watch for those plays. So I didn't actually realize that that would be so bad on energy, but was able to have to shield that out. So the Leaf Blade did absolutely nothing to Venusaur. It's double resisted. So unfortunately they then now get to a charge move before me, so just an absolute mess right here. So they switch out into the Lapras. So I'm going to over farm and throw this energy. So their play here was absolutely superb in switching and getting rid of my energy, and it's something to definitely look out for. So and they're able to farm me down. So I had really good matchups there. They were able to swap in, swap out, and win that match because they burnt a lot of my energy doing that and swapped at perfect time. So Magnezone on the lead is not ideal. So you can obviously threaten with close combat. I'm expecting this to be a wild charge, and it is, and that will drop the defense of the Magnezone, and I do expect to get a shield here. So I do get the shield, and then we'll throw a close combat, expecting to KO if they don't shield, and they did not shield, so that's happy days. They come in with the Togekiss, which is fine because it does mean they will not be able to farm up too much energy. I'm going to go straight Shadow Ball here. Lots of people do not like to shield the Gengar's charge move. So this is a really difficult one here because obviously Swampert in the back is just a horrible matchup. So what I have to do here is throw the Shadow Punch, throw back-to-back Shadow Punches. They are not throwing their energy, which is not great. Out comes the Swampert. So probably shouldn't have swapped out there, should have let them throw their energy, but they were farming up, and they're able to get to another charge move before I can get to one and finish this off. So really unfortunate there. Shouldn't have made that swap at the end, and able to go 3 and 2 in that set, so not too bad, and get the Litwick as the reward. So let's jump in. So same lineup and see what we get. So a few sort of neutral matches on the lead, a few wins there. So this is definitely a lead loss. So I'm not 100% sure why they switched that out into Swampert. So I'm assuming they thought I was going to switch straight out as well, which I was, but they beat me to it. So this actually turns into from a lead loss into a win here. So I will definitely stay in this match and see what they want to do. So they have let that go down. Out comes the Dragonite. I am expecting it to be able to get to a charge move before me, but I want to throw my close combat before they can get out. So out comes the Gyarados here, and so I will come out with the Swampert just to potentially burn a shield and really put some pressure on that last shield. I will let whatever go, so if they want to throw their charge move at the Swampert, absolutely fine. I will not be shielding this up, and this is just putting me in range to be able to take this out. So they're going to have to back-to-back Aqua Tail here, which will put them, will take their energy down. So out comes the Gengar with an energy advantage. Shield up this first one. If it happens to be the Crunch, I need to shield it up. It's just the Aqua Tail. They are in range for the Shadow Punch, so I just throw the Shadow Punch and take that game. So good game there. So the reason, so Swampert v Gyarados is a really bad match, but I just needed to do some chip damage and get rid of that last shield before my Gengar came out. So this one, fairly neutral match, actually better if they have the Dragon Breath here. So what I like to do is try and get an extra fast move in. Wasn't able to do it that time. They did throw the Crunch, so really good to get a shield there. Wait to get 2 Leaf Blades and then throw Leaf Blades back to back. So usually what will happen is they'll shield the first one and I'll be able to throw. So they didn't shield, so I've gone down a shield, but I have one switch. So out comes the Charizard, and I'm just going to throw the close combat because I was expecting them to shield and I don't want them to be able to farm me up. So managed to get the close combat through, and they shielded up a Leaf Blade, which is just ridiculous. So never shield up on the Swampert here. Swampert, never shield up on the oh, and no shield there on the Ampharos, so really good for me. Able to get to the next Hydro, so they've shielded that up. The question is, do I shield here or do I let this go? I've decided to let it go because I'll be able to come out and farm with the Gengar, and didn't want to shield up a bait and have them have energy to throw again. So just to really solidify that win there. So let that go and then come and farm down with the Gengar in the back. So happy days. The next one, so again, Gallade on the lead versus Gengar. So this is actually a negative match, but because Confusion does so much damage, it's just well worth staying in. And you do need to throw a Leaf Blade, but you can farm that down as long as you shield up whatever charge move the Gengar throws at you. So I was expecting to get a shield from the Snorlax there, so really want to take out the Snorlax. I do not want that matched up against my Gengar, so able to come in and farm that down, and let's see what comes out. So expecting to see a Machamp is not what I was expecting to see, so that's absolutely fine. So managed to get one shield, got back-to-back Hydros saved, and that's really, really good there. So expect to let this second one through, which it does. Not able to get to the next Hydro, so need to think about shielding this up. Decided not to shield that up, and I'm going to come in here with the Gengar to farm this down. Unfortunately, it is able to get to a charge move, and I do need to be careful of the Rock Slide, which it is, so shielded up that Rock Slide and happy days. So Gengar, you can throw Shadow Punches, and they're going to be doing enough damage, so don't bother saving up for the Shadow Ball, just throw Shadow Punch. Gengar is an absolute glass cannon. So the shadow punches are, as you can see, almost enough to take that out. So does like 90% of its health with a shadow punch. So no point in saving up for a shadow ball, especially when shields are up, because if they shield it, you're in more trouble. You can just double shadow punch, much more efficient. So Gengar v Gengar, that's the play. So jumping into the next one, obviously getting a little bit of, I got booted out of that match, so not ideal, but let's jump into the next one and see what we get. So Gramble on the lead is really bad for me. Absolutely monsters it. So they switch into the Snorlax, which is again really good for me. They do not want Snorlax matched up with the Gallade because of the fighting type, so really good to get that Snorlax out and about before the Gengar shows up. So saved up to double Hydro there. Unfortunately, I was just too slow. They got another Body Slam in. I will need to shield that up. I do not want this wasted so much energy, and we'll just throw the next Hydro here, and let's see if I get a shield. So got a shield that time, and see who can get to the next charge move. I managed to get there first. Let's see if I'm going to get another shield. So got 2 shields there, and the question is, do I want to shield this up? No, I've got no energy. I'm going to have to come back in with my Gallade here, and I will farm this up. So the licks do a lot of damage. Gramble comes in. I'm going to throw the Leaf Blades here, and then they switch out into the Charizard, and I am able to get to a close combat in time. So it is going to be doing a reasonable amount of damage here. Unfortunately, I will have to shield this up because in case it is, and then go for the farm down here. Not able to get the farm down, so really bad for me. Dragon Claw, not going to do enough damage to take me out, but I am going to be able to throw the Shadow Ball straight away into the Gramble and take that match. So really not a great lead there for me, and able to turn that around by getting the Snorlax out first. And that's one of the good things about having a fighter in the lead and Ghost in the back, is they want to, if you say swap into the Swampert, it's a fairly neutral matchup for the Snorlax, so it'll encourage people to bring that out if they have it in the back and don't have a grass type to hard counter it. So have Blastoise on the lead here, so obviously they're going to be getting to their charge moves super quickly. For this one, throw the Leaf Blade, and then they've swapped into Snorlax, which is interesting for them. So what I should have done here is held off. Unfortunately, they were able to farm up a lot of energy on me, so I do expect some Body Slam spam. I need to take this out. I can't have this matched up, cannot have this matched up with my Gengar in the back, and so a bit of a misplay there on the Gallade at the front by throwing that move early. I was hoping to be able to charge, get enough play, and then they came out and farmed me down with the Venusaur, so really not ideal. The Frenzy Plants are going to be resisted, but as you can see, it's just such a glass cannon that it's takes so much damage from that Frenzy Plant. Was able to one-shot, but then they will be able to, so only able to get to a Shadow Punch. Shadow Punch is not going to be doing enough damage before they fast move farm me down. So, poor play on that last one, but able to go 4 and 1. So definitely should have thrown, saved up the double moves before throwing on the Snorlax in that last game. But it is what it is, just because you have a defense debuff. So hopefully that was useful for someone on leading a Gallade and having a Gengar in the back. So thanks very much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.